All right, welcome everyone to another Elevate Wednesday at the Victoria Truth Center. We're going to start it off by singing our opening tune, the Garden Song by David Mallet, with the Elevate Trio. Take it away, fellas.
By inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds, picking stones, we are made of dreams and homes. Need a place to call my home, 'cause the time is close at hand. Pray for rain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's change, till my body and my brain tell music of the land. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down.
All right, everyone, say hello to your neighbor.
Like your roll straight and long, seasoned with the prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. Old crow watching hungrily from his perch on yonder tree. In my garden life is free as that feather leaf of air. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it fertile. By inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down.
Yay! Thank you. The Elevate Trio. Pablo Cardenas on piano, Peter Dowse on electric bass. And then Kelby MacNayr on vocals and drums, and the VTC choir in the seats. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, for the amazing music as always. All right, so here we are at another Elevate, and before I get talking about why it is that we come together, is there anyone who's here for the first time tonight? All right, so that is Shauna that is over there. I think everyone has met her by now. So how about we let Shauna know how delighted we are that she's here. We love you, we appreciate you, we're so glad you're here. And let's give her a hand as a welcome. Thank you, and thank you everyone for being here tonight. It feels like it is getting darker and darker and darker. When are the clocks changing? This is in a few weeks, right? This Sunday, this week, okay, all right, okay, right after Halloween, but right before the election. All right, so welcome to another Elevate Wednesday in the United States. The election in the United States.
That's getting dark.
So we come together, whether it's elevate or celebrate or a whole bunch of other things that we do here at VTC, we come together to really do one thing and one thing only. And that is to remember that there is just one super amazing, awesome, creative thing that is going on. It is the foundation, it is the essence, it is the activation and animation of everyone and everything. It is the pure, essential vitality of all that is, was, and ever will be. It goes by many, many names. Some people call it spirit, some people call it source, universe, the quantum field, God. Whatever it is that you call it, it really doesn't matter because it's the thing itself that we are celebrating. And here at VTC, the thing that we are constantly wanting to open up to more, that we are wanting to express as more fully, is love. So we talk about love a lot here. In fact, we talk about how important it is to live life lovingly. Because if we live life lovingly, if we really anchor ourselves in the truth of who and what we are, then we see the love in everyone and everything around us more easily and more clearly, no matter what is going on, including the election in the States. So, how does that sound to everyone here on a Wednesday evening? Okay. So let's also remember the where we are elevating, where we are expanding our minds and opening our hearts and activating our souls. That we are on the unceded lands of the Lekwungen people, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And if we take a look at what is important to them, they're saying, take care of the land, water, and resources, and they will take care of you. This is a call to action for us to not only take care of the land, the water, and the resources, but of each other, right? And so now that there is this beautiful invitation that has been extended for us to live and breathe and co-create and play on these beautiful lands that have been stewarded for so long, let us do so with intention. Let us do so mindfully, meaningfully, joyfully, and let us do so above all in and as love. Haishka. All right, time for some reflective music. So I'm going to hand it over to the Elevate Trio once again. And after that, just a reminder to, if you want to show your appreciation, kind of jazz hands, because I'm going to go into an opening blessing or prayer right after. So just taking a moment to soak all that in, to allow the lingering melodies to continue their infusion in every single morsel of our beings, interconnecting and divinely intertwingling each and every one of us together, knowing that at the core of that connection is that same magic and beauty and harmony and wonder we just experienced through the music. And so I'm so grateful to know that right here, right now, in this brand spanking new now moment, there is only one life, one breath, one energy, one dynamic, creative, energetic flow. And as each and every one of us continues to open up to that infinite vitality and boundless dynamism, I'm so delighted to know that there is so much more to open up to. And so I know that right here, right now, there is that in each and every individual present, whether in person, online, right now, or some other time, that is opening up to whatever it is that is theirs to experience, whatever it is that is theirs to open up to explore, opening up to whatever it is that is being revealed in this incredible, amazing opportunity to feel, to know, to recognize, to champion this one incredible, amazing thing that is going on. So call it love, call it source, call it spirit, call it whatever it is that works for you. But ultimately, let us all simply breathe in this one universal breath, this one universal love that continues to know and breathe and live us all into being from one moment to the next and the next and the next. So grateful for this divine, sacred connection, for this beautiful, harmonious opportunity to come together in community, in love. And so it is. And if you'd like to express your gratitude to the band, please feel free. Thank you. Another exquisite arrangement, so beautiful. And I want Pablo to say it. I'm wondering if you can lean into those microphones though, so that we can hear you. We can hear you, but the people online. So what was that you just played for us, Pablo?
A piece from Johann Sebastian Bach called Siciliana.
Yeah, oh, so pretty. All right, thank you. Okay, so moving right along, it is our last opportunity to lean into harvest, at least for this month here at BTC. Just because we're shutting down harvest here, a new theme is happening in a few days, doesn't mean that we can't continue to lean into this and take a look at what it is that we're planting, what it is that we're how we're cultivating, and then what it is that we're harvesting. So our theme for the month has been harvest, and our affirmation to lean into has been, by sowing seeds of compassion, curiosity, and love, I cultivate an atmosphere of possibility, connection, and growth. So as we finish up this month, as we have had opportunity to lean into this theme of harvest, I'm curious, what is it that is coming up for you guys? Who would like to offer something about what harvest is feeling like, looking like, or anything else that is coming up as a result of this theme? We have time for one or two shares. Stephanie.
It's reflecting on what you had said, Kelby, a couple of weeks ago, actually. What I'm noticing is all the places I'm not doing that. That's what's starting to show up. And so I'm, by noticing those moments where I'm not cultivating, or the things that I've planted, I realized that how I planted them maybe it wasn't complete. And so I'm starting to pay attention to that a little bit more, and specifically in my relationship with my son. He's preteen, and there's all sorts of interesting interactions that are showing up between us that man, just get under my skin. And then it's like, okay, how do I stay connected? How do I keep reaching for that creation of love between us, even in those moments? But it's showing where I'm not where I haven't planted the seeds within myself as a parent. That's showing up, not as a macron, but just as an awareness. And then it's like, how do I step back and then harvest what is actually there, and appreciate that. So that's what's coming up.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm thinking that a lot of us can relate to that on some level, is the noticing and the recognizing. Connection, when it's easy, when it's flowing, and then when it's not. And so thank you very much for sharing that. Anyone else have something that they would like to offer regarding harvest?
Well, since I was just, clearing my throat and it looked like I was preparing to speak, there's something I could share. So, continuing on about what you were continuing on about, what I had been continuing on about, I was having this experience today where I was confronted by a number of things that I had planted over decades. No, it does not involve my daughter. all good planting there. But they were things that I was bumping up against, and I was like, I wasn't liking any of them. No, not you. Nothing to do with kids. This is like adult stuff. Purely adult stuff. Maybe some of them I planted when I was a kid, but that's, What was so fun about it, though, was maybe in past years I would have said, this sucks, I hate it, and I'm shutting it down. Because they're pushing all my buttons. Because they're sort of complex buttons. It's not just like something irritating, it was like, but to realize like, snap, I planted that one. And someone was tugging on it, and it was like, oh. And then there was another one, but then, I don't like that one either. But the nice thing was to realize that, so I planted those, and I can unplant them, or I can change them, or I can at some point that was a good idea, or seemed like a good idea. And that I can just change that, I can let that go, knowing that it wasn't that I was like a victim of circumstance, or that was my fate, or I don't have another route to take. It was just like, ew, I don't like this at all. But how great is that now I can plant something different. And that felt really good. It was still a little, it was still uncomfortable, but it was also wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. It's so much in there, Kelby, thank you very much. And what kept coming up for me is personal responsibility and personal power, that we're always a choice. And we get to choose what we want to do with those buttons, or anything that we're experiencing in our life, whether it's something that we feel sort of like overtly responsible for, or something that feels like maybe it's happening around us. That we're always at opportunity to choose. And if that's not feeling good, it feels icky or sucks or whatever, then we get to choose something different and create a new life experience.
Yeah, that there's seeds that sometimes get cast aside. That they don't all get harvested right away. Sometimes those seeds may have to wait another year or another time so you can only sometimes realize not all of them at the same time, but just a few at a time maybe. So that's another thing.
Amazing. You know what? The Reverend Amanda Pope, who filled in for me on the 20th, she was talking about that very thing, about how there's a germination, there's a gestation, there's a time for things to grow and blossom, and it may not be in the timing that, we would want, and that's where impatience comes in. But that then, it kind of comes down to surrender and trust and have faith and just know, instead of yanking up, is it ready? Is it done? Knowing that most of the time when you do that you damage the plant, and then you got to go start from scratch again. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. All right. Okay. Some really great shares to end off the month. And so let us move into The feature tune, I don't even know what it is tonight. Is it Tears for Fears?
No, we chose one with many fewer lyrics.
Okay.
But maybe next year, if we return to Harvest, we'll be ready for that one. This is.
I'm not singing.
Oh yeah, well that was the other idea. So if you all spread the word to your friends, next year around this time, sowing the seeds of love, featuring P-Dog Diddy Dowse, singing up a storm
Seeds may
next year.
germinate next year.
Yeah, that's right. It takes a while. You can't rush these things. And so this song reflects my recent experience of harvest, that idea of what you plant and how you conceptualize your relationship. So it has nothing to do with actually sowing seeds. You might have to listen a little closely. Does anybody know Hezekiah Walker? Is he known in this community? He's not known in my community either. But I came across this song through a friend, and I thought it was really beautiful.
He plays for Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, he's a quarterback with the Dolphins. So we hope you enjoy this next tune. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm sure I'll remember it as we go.
We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is God's will that every need be fulfilled. You are important. I need you to smile.
Thank you so much, Pablo Cardenas, Peter Dowse.
Kelby MacNayr. Wow, that was beautiful, you guys. Thank you. And so who was the composer, the author, the lyricist, musician?
All of the above is a guy named Hezekiah Walker.
Hezekiah Walker.
Yeah, the tune is I Need You to Survive. It's a big choral version with lots of modulations and hundreds of singers. But I heard Louise Rose do it once at a gig, and it was so beautiful that we thought we'd track it down.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you
Hope you
very
liked it.
much. Well, feel free to sit down and join us. All right. So, the meditation quote for those who weren't here during meditation. As we consciously decide to let go of the stories and ideas we've been holding on to, we free ourselves up to embracing new ways of experiencing life. So, I think I've talked about this before on Wednesday. I know I have on Sunday because I just talked a little bit about it this past Sunday. There is a group that Glenn and I are part of that kind of sprouted, if you will, out of a class that we were in February. And because it was taking place on Wednesday nights, our friend Lori, who's the facilitator, graciously decided that she would offer a Monday night so that Glenn and I could spend some time with her going over the material so that we had some kind of connection, a live connection with people in the class. And what ended up happening was there were a few people who attended the Wednesday that also came on the Monday and then kind of stayed on the Monday. And then as the class was wrapping up, Glenn and I hadn't finished reading the book that the class was using as sort of the anchor for the experience. So our friend Lori said, you know what, let's just keep going. Like, this is a really nice group and we'll just keep going, for as long as people want to go or until nobody shows up, essentially, right? So it is now almost November and we're still going strong with our Monday night group. And there's a core group of 5 of us that get together. It's now on Tuesdays though, because we're taking another class and all of us are in this class on Monday nights. So we've moved our Noticing Ninjas group to Tuesday nights. And the reason that it is noticing is because a lot of the course that we were taking, we were meant to be noticing, what is it that we're feeling? What is it that we're doing? What is it, the habits that we're engaged in? And it all revolved around money and prosperity. But like the author of the book that we were using, her name is Maria Namath, and the book is called The Energy of Money. Like she says in there, how you do money is how you do life. And so when you get your finances in order, when you really anchor yourself in a rock solid, healthy prosperity consciousness, then everything else in life starts to fall into place. And so it takes noticing, right? Like awareness of what it is that's going on, because if you're not aware, then how are you going to make any changes? So there's been a lot of noticing, and I can't even remember where the ninjas part came from, but it's just an affectionate name that we have for our group. And one day, a couple of months ago, when one of the gals in the group wrote an email to everybody, she wrote the word noticing with K-N-O-W at the beginning of it, because we're like noticing and knowing at the same time, like who we are, right? And becoming more and more aware of that. And so we're still meeting, and one of the things that has been kind of like a monkey on one of the women's backs is her office. And her office has just been in this state of chaos. We never saw it, she just talked about it every week. My office, oh my God, my office. Like one of these days, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to send you guys a before and after picture, and you'll see what I've been dealing with, for the last, what we found out has been 4 years. Anyway, so she was going on and on about it last week. And so at one point I just said, just show us your office. Okay, just like take your computer and just turn it around and just show us what it is that you're talking about. And so she did. We finally got to see, and at first it was like, oh, that's not that bad. And then there was this corner that was this like waterfall of files and folders. It was like a dirty laundry pile or something, but of paper. And like, how does that even stay? And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And we're like, whoa, yeah. And so by the end of the conversation, I was like, okay, you know what? I have some piles of paper on my floor in my office that are not driving me crazy, but I am aware of them enough that they are now in the way and I want to put them away. And it's not like they're like massive piles of paper. It's just like one thing that I've put in separate piles because I know they're all going to go in their own file folders in the closet. But it's faster and it's easier for me to just put them down on the floor in neat little piles than go the extra 10 steps, open the door, open the box, and put them in the file folder or in the banker's box. So what I said was, I'm going to call you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We're going to set a 5-minute timer and we're both going to work on our stuff. Okay? That's it. 5 minutes. None of this like, oh, I need a full day or like several weeks or whatever. 5 minutes. It's been a week. Okay? And it has been a week of noticing as we clean up our offices. And so the first thing is like, wow, what a difference 5 dedicated minutes of being intentional can make. Like huge. What we also started to notice about 2 or 3 days in was as we were moving through these piles of paper and the stuff that she has in her office, it was no longer about the task at hand. It was about what was coming up as we were working on this task at hand. And so what we were noticing is that as we were clearing and cleaning all of these things, it opened up room for a whole bunch of uncomfortable stuff to start bubbling up. And it got to the point for me yesterday where I noticed so much resistance in me about doing this. You know, seeing that it's working, because there's nothing on my floor anymore except for 2 tiny little piles, and they're things I'm currently working on, so they're staying there. Everything else has been put away. And yet, it's like there is this saboteur in me that is determined to mess things up so that I can go back to, oh man, look at all the stuff I have on my floor. Look at how tired I am, how exhausting this venture has been. It would have just been so much easier to not even attack it at all. Oh, poor me kind of thing, right? What is that? Like, what is that? You know, I'm seeing me doing things that don't fit with this sort of plan that, you know, my friend and I have made for ourselves. I'm seeing the benefit of, you know, what it is that I'm doing, and yet there is something in me that's like, It was a lot easier to just leave it there, and then we had this amazing story of like how annoying it was and how frustrating it was to be tripping over these sheets or whatever, and now we don't have that story anymore. So I got to create something so that you have another story to tell, right? And so that's where this quote came up for me is, you know, when we let go of these stories and ideas that we have, these stories that we've been telling, they're just stories. We can discard them at any time. We can choose something different at any time, kind of like the buttons that Kelby was talking about earlier. And yet there can be something in us which finds it so compelling to hang on to those ideas and stories. And then find someone who can commiserate with you. Oh my God, I know, my office too, which is exactly what was happening, you know, with this woman in the group. But still, even with all of that happening, there is this commitment, there is this determination, and there's this extra layer of accountability because we're doing it together, right? So our offices are getting cleaned up. We're noticing all of these uncomfortable feelings that are coming up, and we're leaning into the fear and just doing the stuff anyway. And what it reminded me of was many years ago, I took a class on this book by Bishop Desmond Tutu, The Book of Forgiving. Anybody here read this book? Beautiful, beautiful book. So many stories in there about forgiveness, written by him and his daughter, and wow, her story of forgiveness in there is quite powerful. I've read it about, 15, 20 times or something. Pick up something new every single time. And it's not just a book of stories, it's actually, it's a program. And so in there are various exercises that you do, and each one builds on the previous one. So there's one in there where I read about it and I'm like, oh, I know what this is about. I don't have to do it. Like intellectually, I know what's going to happen, right? And what it is you find a stone somewhere, a stone that you can hold in your hand, but it's like heavy enough that you know that it's there, right? And then you're supposed to hold this stone in your non-dominant hand for an entire day, all of your waking hours, okay? So just think about, what that would be like, right? You can kind of sort of, like, oh, yeah, I know. Let me tell you, thinking about it and then doing it, two entirely different things. And the day that I did it and I had to hang on to this stone all day, oh my God, not only did it mean I didn't have the use of this hand because it was holding on to something, I couldn't do all of these things that I would normally do. And then as I was, not able to do certain things, all the feelings that would come up, the frustration that would come up, all because I was holding on to this little stone. And by the end of the day, not only was I frustrated, not only did it take me longer to do a whole bunch of stuff, there was stuff I couldn't do, but my hand was all cramped from holding on to this stone. And it just made me think, why don't we just open up and let that stuff go that we're holding on to constantly, instead of oh my God, my shoulder, my arm, whatever, poor me kind of thing. And so I was telling my friend about this yesterday, and she's like, wow, you are so right. And that's what we're noticing, more her than me right now, because there's so much stuff in her office. But the things that we hang on to and how much they drag us and weigh us down. And so the title of my talk today is, What's Weighing You Down? And I was trying to find the perfect picture, and I couldn't find the perfect picture, so I found 3. And I superimposed them, because there's so many different ways that we can hang on to things. But ultimately, if we choose, whether intentionally or unintentionally, to hang on to stuff that doesn't serve us, what ends up happening? It weighs us down. It becomes harder to move. It becomes harder to physically move through our day and do stuff. It becomes harder to move forward because emotionally we are hanging on to so much baggage that we don't need. And so whether it's this massive boulder that this guy has on his back, whether it's the guy that you can barely see that has a suitcase that has who knows what in it that is really awkward to carry, or, and I kind of like the anchor, whether it's someone that is hanging on to this anchor that is just dragging behind them, slowing down, when all each and every one of them has to do is just let it go. It's as simple as that. But it's not always easy, because we like our stories. We like telling and retelling our stories. There's a payoff in there. So we need to get clear about, well, is this a story that I want to hang on to? And if it's a story I don't want to hang on to, then I can let it go. I can tell a new story. And so this exercise, which rapidly became, not just about the paper on the floor, but about, wow, all of this stuff that is coming up, is just an amazing illustration for our own spiritual journeys and our own spiritual evolution. And how it really comes down to how committed are we, and whether we're practicing consistently, whether we are doing something every single day, and who and what are we being accountable to? And if being accountable to ourselves isn't enough, are we willing to reach out to someone and say, hey, I could really use your support because this is important to me and I want to get it done and I can't do it alone. So all of these things coming up for me because we're doing this little exercise. As we consciously decide to let go of the stories and ideas we've been holding on to, we free ourselves up to embracing new ways of experiencing life. And it doesn't always feel great, right? It's kind of like you have that big closet that's just full of stuff, and in order to clean it up, you got to pull everything out. You got to look at it. You got to see what's there. You got to decide what brings me joy, Marie Kondo, and what doesn't, and get rid of it. And it can look like a massive mess that's even worse than it looked in the closet first. But in order to really see what it is that you're dealing with, sometimes you got to get in the muck. You got to get messy. You got to see what's there, and then you can discern what it is that you want to hang on to and what it is you're ready to let go of so you can reach for something and embrace something new. So my questions to you as we move forward, especially into a new month, is as you have been marinating on harvest this month, the seeds that you've been planting, how you've been cultivating them, and how you've been harvesting, how is it where are you right now in your life experience with all of that going on? And maybe is there something that you can let go of and even compost to go along with the gardening, metaphor, because it just isn't serving you anymore. I'm sure there's something, right? So what is it that is weighing you down? What are you willing to do to lighten your load? And even if it feels uncomfortable, I invite you to do the work, because it is so incredibly worth it to unburden yourself, to liberate yourself, to free yourself up from all of the stuff that you've been carrying along that is just getting in the way and keeping you feeling stuck. Sometimes you don't even realize that's what's happening, because once you let it go, then you create space, you create opportunity to open up to something new and to harvest something even better than before. Thank you, and so it is. All right, so now, conscious conversation. So I invite you guys to go into groups of 3 or 4 so that everybody in the group has a chance to chat, and then we will come back in about 10 minutes. I will ding the meditation bowl when it's time to come back. So feel free to cross the aisle. A lot of people are on this side today. Come on back. All right, it's time for some love and appreciation. If you had something to do with today happening, stand on up, please. All right, let's let these guys know how much we love and appreciate them. We appreciate you. We love you. We're lightening our load with you. Okay, and then someone who is new here today, and I just realized this is your first time on a Wednesday too. Yeah, so if you could stand up, please. And you'll see everyone's going to be standing at the end. Okay, here we go again. We appreciate you. We love you. We're lightening our load with you. And now everybody, so we can love and appreciate everybody. We appreciate you. We love you. We're lightening our load with you. And now turn to one person, look into their eyes, turn those we's into I's, and let them know, I love you, I appreciate you, I love you, I'm lightening my load with you. All right, thank you. All right, you can go ahead and sit down. All right, so now is an opportunity to share in our generosity of spirit. If you feel like you are feeling better leaving than you did when you came in, if you are feeling inspired, uplifted, if you feel just like better, happier or something like that, then now is an opportunity to let us know. So there are a bunch of different ways that you can give. There is e-transfer, there is credit card if you have one, and you can do cash or check. There's a silver bowl on the back of the table. As we share in our generosity with VTC, VTC gets to share its generosity of programming with you, and we also get to give to a bunch of different charitable organizations in and around Victoria. So however it is that you are being generous today, I invite you to place your hands on your heart as we declare this abundance affirmation together. In gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive. By embracing generosity with enthusiasm and delight, I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly, and so it is. Oh, I'm missing a slide. So I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze for just a moment. And let's just take a moment to really honor and acknowledge the appreciation and the gratitude that is present in every single moment, in every single breath, in every single connection that we make during our time together. Knowing that as we give, we receive, and the more that we receive, the more we are able to give. So knowing that every single offering of love goes forward to heal, prosper, and bless, I'm so grateful to know that there is always, always more. So for all of the generosity that is present, for all of the generosity to come, I simply say thank you for it all as we continue building community and living life lovingly together. And so it is. All right, just a few announcements because it is the end of the month. I am teaching a brand new class. It is a super amazing opportunity to lean into spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. This is the #1 tool that we learn as spiritual practitioners to move the needle in life. It is energy work, and so it could also be looking at, like, from a Joe Dispenza perspective, tuning into new potentials. Emma Smiley, who was the leader here for over 43 years, she called it atomic prayer. It can also be like Lynn McTaggart's Power of 8 or intention circles. And all of those are actually going to be things that I'm going to reference and sort of contrast and compare with the affirmative prayer that we practice. So if you're interested, it's going to be online via Zoom, Thursdays from November 7th to January 16th. That spans 10 weeks, but there will only be 8 classes. And even though the value of the course is $240, because it's my first class here at VTC, I'm offering it as a pay what you wish opportunity because I want everybody to be able to take advantage of this and to support each other as people learn how to move energy for a specific purpose. Okay, so if you're interested, please let me know. I would love to have you guys in class. All right, speaking of prayer, there are always prayer forms available on the back there, or you can email prayers@victoriatruthcenter.org. Prayers. I thought up until a few days ago it was prayer. It's prayer S. Yes, do that, and then the VTC prayer team will pray for you and yours affirmatively. Big announcement, and I'm going to the laptop so that I can play you a video so that you guys can get to know Amy Steinberg a little bit, okay? So just bear with me. This is what is coming to town November 23rd and 24th.
Workshop. It's going to be just so good. It's going to be so good. Grabs attitudes going up my veins. Taking on the decadence, goodness reigns. We be on the throne with ease, rich with infinite potentialities. We think money has value. Listen, it's paper, metal, electronic transmission. We get what we get. We are unique. We breathe. Cannot just give. Cannot just receive. There's a law of circulation. Money secondary. You have that essence only you can carry. As I advance on my journey, I see there is a power for good and it can use me. Oh.
So Saturday concert, Sunday music and message, and then Sunday a workshop as well. $25 for the concert, $25 for the workshop, or get the concert and workshop package, and it's $45. And what I can tell you is that we have already sold 20% of the workshop. So get your tickets, because we have invited every single New Thought community here, and I want to fill this place with 60 people for the concert and 30 people for the art workshop. So, and we're not going to do Elevate Your Creativity next month, because this is going to be our Elevate Your Creativity on the Sunday afternoon, okay? So get your tickets. The QR codes are on the posters, on the door, and on the wall there. That'll take you right to the Zephy link where you can buy your tickets. Community announcements, Intuitive Arts Festival happening this Saturday and Sunday. Stephanie's going to be there, Keely's going to be there, Ari's going to be there, and then I'm thinking maybe some of you are going to waltz through there. I know we met some of you guys there last year, or I did anyway. Yeah, amazing opportunity. The workshops are going to be phenomenal. Authentic Relating Games, first and third Sundays of the month, which means the first Sunday coming up, there's going to be an Authentic Relating Games. I don't remember who it is. It's not Sherry, though, I can tell you that, because is it Bernice? Is it the spicy one? 6:30 to 9. Okay. All right, well, 6:30 to 9, definitely happening this coming Sunday. Okay. Come on up, stand up, and we're going to sing this Amy Steinberg tune. Elevate Trio, Pablo Cardenas on piano, Peter Dowse electric bass, Kelby MacNayr vocals and drums, the Elevate VTC choir and community here in the seats. Thank you for being with us for another Elevate Wednesday. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad you're here. We'll see you next week.